Hey guys, I wanted to take a second to go over this document with you. Um, this is something that is a couple years old, but is still pretty relevant when it comes to the AP portfolio development. So, your portfolio is divided into um, two sections. The largest section is what's known as the sustained investigation section. Sustained investigation was formerly known as concentration. So that's why this document will say concentration theme. It says spend a good amount of time developing your concentration theme. Anytime that you hear me say sustained investigation or concentration, I'm talking about the exact same thing. It's just sometimes, my brain doesn't correct itself when I think concentration and mean to say sustained investigation. So, one of the things that you are going to do this week is you are going to put together a list of 10 ideas that you might want to use as your concentration or sustained investigation theme. So, basically, the largest part of your portfolio is going to include 15 works of art, which is different here. Let me see if I can work this here. So this is no longer 12. This is now 15. Oh, hello. Okay. So a couple years back, they changed the number. They changed up the portfolio, and so they changed the number of works that you have to have within this concentration or sustained investigation theme. So basically, you have to create 15 works of art that revolve around one central topic. So each work of art in this series is going to explore a central idea or theme that you have come up with. So, some tips on what concentration theme to choose. Okay. And so I'm going to attach this document so you can look at it yourself, but I just wanted to touch on some really important things here. Number one, it is not enough to focus on a subject or a medium. Okay, so a subject like trees or a medium like charcoal. You have to be more specific. One thing that you might hear me say to you when you come up with a topic is that it's too broad, right? Trees is too broad of a subject. You have to narrow it down. So, for example, if trees, why trees? Is it about the growth? Or are you going to explore negative space, protective canopies, strength and endurance? Are you going to up close study branch and leaf structures? And then it gives you some artists that you can look at who perhaps use trees and nature in their work. And you can't just say, I'm going to do some charcoal drawings because it's way too broad. Okay. You have to get more specific. Your exploration should go deeper than taking a subject and executing it in a variety of media or styles. So, for example, apples, and you do it in watercolor or all these different styles is is fine, but it's really just not that deep of a topic for you to explore. If you were going to do something like apples, you could do the different state of apples. There's apple pie, candied apples, and the backgrounds that you would put them in. Like a candy apple in the background is a fair, an apple pie in the background is a family's table. So you're making some sort of statement about the apples while still focusing on the apples themselves, if that makes sense. Um, the other thing that I want to point out is number 4. They have to be consistent in theme or approach, or it can evolve as you explore the idea. So you want to start off with a clear plan of attack, and if the idea changes, the change will usually be natural, and the people viewing your portfolio will be able to see that. Number 5 is especially important. Okay. Do not choose to work in a medium in which you have absolutely no experience. Okay. The point of the portfolio and the point of taking AP is to prove to College Board that you are proficient in visual arts and that you can perform at a college level. So now is not the time to try something new that you've never used before, like oil paint, because you're trying to prove to the College Board that you are an excellent artist. And so if you cripple yourself from the beginning by using a medium that you've never used before, then you're less likely to be successful. So you need to stick with a medium that you are familiar with. Um, Number 7, if you choose to work in an area rich in cliche or teenage stereotypes, your work must be very original. So it is strongly recommended that you avoid topics such as blood dripping, skulls, large single eyes, hearts, hands that form the shape of hearts, fairies, vampires, emotion through the eyes, how much you love your girlfriend and boyfriend, sunsets, rainbows, clouds, sad clowns. Okay, so these are all topics that the AP portfolio readers have grown tired of seeing. And so, unless you are doing something in this groundbreaking way, chances are they've already seen it and they're not impressed by it anymore. Okay, so another thing that ties up with number 8, all images must adhere to copyright laws. Okay, so this means that you also can't explore characters or anything that is anybody else's intellectual property. So you can't do a concentration topic that revolves around SpongeBob SquarePants and all the characters involved in that show because of copyright images and copyright issues. Okay. Um, Visit the College Board website, read the concentration or sustained investigation statements, and then look at the artwork and really look at how the artwork is connected and how the artist developed the idea. And I will go through a couple of portfolios with you guys and we will talk about why they received the score they did, what makes them, a 3 or a 4 or a 5. But you can do that on your own and you can see portfolios from many, many years past and see what students have done that have gotten them various scores. And so I recommend doing that on your own. Now, the last pages here are just lists of things that you can explore when you are trying to come up with your own list of concentration or sustained investigation topics. You are going to be required to come up with a list of at least 10 ideas that you want to explore in your concentration topic. And so you can use any of these ideas on your list, that's fine. But try not to only stick with the list, okay? Because these lists have been used for a couple of years. And what we're going to do when everybody comes up with their list is we're going to do like a round table type thing. We're going to try to do this live with all of you guys at home and the students that are here. And what we do is each student gets a turn to go around the room, and you get multiple turns, and you name off one idea from your list that you really love that you want to do. And if anybody else has that idea on their list, they have to cross it out. Okay. So this way we keep from 10 of you all doing the 7 deadly sins, right? Because it's an interesting and intriguing topic, and one would probably say by this point it is cliched, and I will tell you to stay away from it, honestly. But just for example, to keep all of you guys from ending up with the same concentration topic, we do this roundabout round table until everybody has listed all of the things on their list and have eliminated any doubles with anybody else. And so then you have hopefully your own like 5 to 7 really solid ideas that you will then begin exploring in your pieces. Okay. So, one more thing that I want to mention about the concentration topic, and I want you to listen to this very carefully and pay very close attention to this. The topic that you choose for your sustained investigation series does not have to be this groundbreaking, open our eyes to a new idea, change the life of the people looking at your artwork kind of idea. Okay. Now, if you have an idea like that, by all means, pursue that. But what I see is many students get hung up on not having this idea that they think says something, an important message, and it doesn't have to be that. Honestly, if you have really solid technical skill, meaning that you are very excellent at drawing, painting, you've developed your skills up until this point on your own in class, then you can explore literally anything and create an excellent portfolio. I have seen portfolios score a 5, and their topic has been something as simple as keys. Okay, but the difference is that they chose keys and then chose an interesting way to represent the keys. So the example I gave in class last week was, if you're going to choose keys, then maybe each piece shows like the life of keys, right? Where the keys go and where they travel to. Um, Keys being dangled, to open the door to a house for the first time. Keys being held in the hands of a woman walking out to her car and used as a weapon. Keys in the bottom of a purse surrounded by trash and various things. Okay. So just notice how we took keys, something very simple, and transformed it into a bigger idea and more of a concentration theme. Okay. Now, if you have any questions regarding this list that you come up with, or you want to run any topics by me, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Email me is the quickest way to get to me, and we can discuss your list. Okay. But I'm going to put an assignment on here that you have to submit your list to me in a Google Doc, and then we will have a time in class, probably next week, when we do our round the table concentration list off. Okay. So that's it. Be working on your list. You need to have at least 10 and have it completed by the due date. And if you have any questions, you let me know.